Hello. On this session, we're going to discuss Linux how-to. In particular, we're going to discuss how to use the terminal or command line. So video number 4, the terminal interface or command line. We're going to discuss it on Red Hat platform, as well as Rocky Linux, as well as Ubuntu distribution, which is a Debian distribution. So let's get started with some slideshow. We're gonna show you the video number 1. We already showed you how to power on, get the operating system information, log in and log out, and how to power off back on Red Hat platform as well as Linux Ubuntu. Video number 2, we were discussing how to install the Rocky Linux version as a virtual machine. And that video is pretty good for a Rocky version, which is Fedora distribution also. The Fedora distribution of Rocky replaced the CentOS operating system, which was the community enterprise edition of operating system. At the end of CentOS version 8, it went end of life a year ago or a year and a half ago, and then now we're just having Rocky version as a replacement. Video number 3, we discussed all 3 platforms, the graphical user interface, which is also called the GUI, also known as GUI interface or graphical user interface, which is graphical stuff. So we discussed Red Hat platform as well as Rocky, as well as Ubuntu. And then video number 4, which is the topic of tonight, we're going to discuss the terminal interface, which is command line. I'm going to go back to the virtual machine here, and the list of virtual machine that we have is a number of them. I'm going to start off with the algorithm, which is the host name here. That is Linux Red Hat. So I'm going to click on the start button here to start it off, and then the notification, I don't need to see it, but I will see the show here, so we could just look at the interface. And at this time, it is going to just come up with the graphical user interface for my user ID, Wahidullah, and then my son, Murtaza Ali. So I'm logged in as myself, as Wahid, and I'm gonna type in my password. And when I do that one, it is Red Hat, and you have the option here that I showed you on other videos if you want to bring another kind of graphical user interface other than the default one. So I'm going to go with the default option as I showed you, and then this is the interface that gives you a graphical interface. But then if you need to get into command line, this terminal is your friend. So you click on this terminal here, and a terminal opens here. On the terminal, as it says, is this $sign is the prompt, and currently it shows the user ID as Wahid, and then at localhost is the host name, and then my home directory is currently tilde, which is print working directory will also show you the home directory. So this tilde is equivalent to home directory. So if I say cd to programs, for example, if I have a directory programs, which maybe I don't on this machine, yes, I don't have it, or maybe I could create one just to show you programs. So if I just cd to the programs, now I should be able to cd to that directory, but notice my print working directory, home directory is home Wahid W Lutfi, and that tilde changed this one. So if I do cd by itself, it's gonna drop me back to my home directory, which is pwd here. Similarly, if I just go cd to programs again, and then I say pwd, you can see that I cd to that one. I could do cd to tilde, that would also drop me to the home directory that I was there. So tilde or cd to programs, another way you could do it, programs here, cd to $home. $home is the environment variable that is pointing to that one here. And to get your environment variable, you can type in env. You will get a list of all the environment variable. Similarly, you can also say env and then grep -i home. It will just show everything what is home directory. So if you are looking for a string home in uppercase, you can do that also. But notice that when you put -i, ignore the case, I could match all the home directory. But if I just do it in uppercase, it only matches the one that I was interested on it. And then you could also get echo $sign PWD to show that one. Also echo $sign home will show that one. And then also get env password Wahid will show that my home directory is home Wahid here. And if I just do a grep here for -i, $sign, put $sign home, I don't have to put -i in this case. That will just highlight it for me the way I was showing here. So I could do it from terminal or command line, the syntax could do the same thing. Similarly, if I just do this command, while it shows me that information, I could just type in instead of this one from the terminal, I could do a backtick and then say ID-UN. And I have to type in lowercase. ID-UN is going to give me user ID name, but with that information, get entry password will just give you that same information that is on this line, on this line, and also on that line. The output is the same. So let's clear the screen. This is all the power of a command line that you could do. If I just do this command, it is there, or I could just do this command. It is, sorry, let me just do get ent UID this, or I could just type in here, Wahid will give me that one, or I could say $sign this, and then ID-UN. Just a number of ways you can do the same command argument, similar way. And then if you just do from command line, many ways you can do. Clear screen, get my ID, follow information, ID-UN, user ID, ID-group N, group name, and then ID-U for user ID in numbers, ID-group ID in numbers, and then grep -i Wahid etc password, grep -i Wahid etc password, etc group. You can get multiple information. Clear the screen, do uname -a. This is all command lines again. And if I just do cat etc os-release, you can see the internal information. If I'm just looking for Fedora and I want to grep on it, say grep -i Fedora. Now notice those lines that are having the word Fedora, it is highlighted in red. So clear the screen, do an alias, and you can see some of the aliases that I have on the system. It is showing there. For example, clear the screen and then do alias grep -i grep itself. So the grep, as you can see, wherever I have the alias grep, it is saying the auto color is on. So that way now the grep itself, it is showing. If I just do alias everything, it shows all the aliases. But if I'm just looking only for the word alias, grep, then I could do another one like this and just say -w, the word grep. Then it's not gonna just show grep and other ones there. So if I just have cat etc password file, the content of it, and then say cat etc password file, and then awk print $1, for example, get all the first fields. And then if I want to go get $2, that's there. And $3, all of them are there. So whichever one you want, you're interested, you can say $1, comma $2, those two fields will be there. Similarly, if I'm on this directory, if I say show me all the long listing, I can just look at the files, and if I just want to see the permissions of a directory here, I can do a command like find dot minus type D, meaning show me only the directories here. And so I also could do ls minus lf to see the directories with slashes in front of it. So ls minus ltr give me a long listing of the files with the last file that was modified at the bottom. df minus h run the disk information here, clear screen cat etc fstab file, give you fstab details here. And then what else we could do? For example, df-h type extended 4 file system, show me those ones. If I just have any extended 4 file system, these are XFS, so I have to do XFS file system instead of extended 4, the type, and then XFS, and then that would list XFS. And if I'm looking for swap, obviously I just type in swap here. Swap is not there, XFS, and then /temp was there. If you don't give any type, by default it shows all of them. Whatever is on the etc fstab file, you will get that information from there. And then there's more commands that I could show you on everything. fdisk, for example, -l listed. So this one requires root sudo su dash, and then I'm going to type in so I could get root access here. Let's say I have to type in the password correctly first and clear a screen ID here. Now I'm root. ID-un is showing me that I'm root on ID and dash, and GN is also showing me group ID. So if I say the same command that I did earlier, which was, I'm not sure what was the command. Fdisk. So let me do sudo fdisk fdisk-l. So that command will just run because I provided sudo access in it. And now if I say sudo su dash, and I got that one, I could do fdisk-l, give me a long listing of all the devices. And then notice that the dev mapper are there, because these are LVS and logical volumes. I could still get the dev SDA1, SDA2. So as I say fdisk-l dev/SDA will give me all the SDAs. And if I do SDA1, it will go SDA1 information. And if I just don't do this kind of like -l, now I'm getting into the option that I can print the partition table. I create new ones, or just get help on it, or just type in new and then go to the partition, but I don't need to. At this time, I'm going to quit out of this. So I'm going to show you other ways you can get this disk information. df-h t was XFS, was telling you. df-hf also show you the file system similarly there. And then df-hi would give you the inode numbers, the information, how many of them have those one, the I-free, the I-used, and the inode number, 2 millions per the disk that is there, that information. And df-h usually give you in human readable, like some of the files that are gigabytes or how large it is. And then if you are having something that you want to get it in kilobyte, you can get that also. Similarly, on the command line, you could get free command -h in human readable, how much memory you have, how much is this system. You can also run top to get the memory information, CPU status, all the details are here. And then get the processes and that I showed you earlier on other videos. You can run htop if it is installed. If it is not installed, you can do a DNF install htop, and then that will just go and download htop. And if no match is found, obviously, you have to include the right repository for the htop, which you say DNF provides htop. If it finds it for you, you can do, let's see, a /store. Some of the packages that are there with htop, you have to include them first. So match found and upstream, I think it is one of these ones that you could just include. Let's try that one. Subscription dash manager repos dash enable is equal, and then just make that one available. Subscription manager. I forgot to type in subscription. So that one is trying to enable it. That Forex app stream is enabled now. So I could say DNF repo list, and then it should show that one is there. Now I say DNF search for htop, see if htop package is found or not. No. DNF provides */store bin /htop. I don't think that's the right way to search it, but let's see, a */bin htop. Yeah, so that is the package. Right here is the for the htop and perform this. I'm going to try to include this one. Yeah, right here, red hat. It should be this. I think I did enable this. x86 Enterprise Linux 9. Let me try this one also. I'm just trying to get this information copy. So subscription manager repos dash enable is equal, and then we're just going to paste this one, see if we can enable it. Okay, it is not showing up yet. I wonder if this one requires a bin store like that. Okay, yeah, the bin htop. Let me just do /htop. It should be one of these packages. Let me just try it this time. So dash enable dash copy this and paste it here. Some of these packages are hard to remember which one is providing it. It should be on the main repository list. If top is provided, htop should be included. Now it says it's enabled. So if I say DNF install, okay, so install maybe one of the packages that are for the htop. Let's see if I could do just this htop. itself is not going to show. So another thing you could do is on the Google, you could say google.com and then look for HTOP for Red Hat 9.2 HTOP package name. So the package name itself, how to install this one on 9.8, it's Yum. This one is kind of helpful because Yum is symbolic link to DNF-3, which is also DNF is symbolic link to that DNF-3. So right here, the package name most likely is going to be there. You see this one, you have to do a DNF Fedora project for Red Hat 8, but we're doing it for 9. So subscription manager, code ready for builder. That is not good because this one is deprecated, this code. Is there with that install package command line search and start. And notice that if I do this one, I believe this one is deprecated. Let's see if on the bottom of this documentation it says. No, it just shows that it was installed. So I'm gonna try that package update first. Let me do the DNF subscription manager here. And there's a couple of these ones in addition to those commands. Okay, so let's just do this one inside the terminal itself here. So I'm going to open here a terminal, say Firefox, and then I could do the same search that I did here on Firefox by google.com and say HTOP package for Red Hat 9.2, and then how to install this is the one that we were looking at, and then now I need to do the version 9. So I'm going to copy this line for Red Hat 9, the subscription. We need to enable the subscription manager first by copying this one and opening the terminal here on this window. Clear the screen here. I'm going to paste this command here. So this one is just basically enabling the code ready builder for Red Hat 9 upstream because we are having Red Hat 9. Now it is enabled. As you can see here, you need to do that for the release version that we have, cat etc red hat dash release. And that one is 9.2, so we did it for 9. So that is enabled, and I say DNF repo list. It's going to show me that that is the builder is enabled now. The next thing is that we have to install this other package, DNF install on the RPM. So this one is the full package name here. I'm trying to highlight it and then copy it. Again, this is from Fedora and this, and so just to get just to get a package like HTOP, you have to do 10,000 things, and then some of them were cut and paste from URLs that you have to do, which is should be part of the repository standard parts. And these kind of things are used by everybody. Why is not in standard? So I'm gonna go to the show here, go to the command line again here on the command line and paste this DNF install and then the URL. Nobody's gonna memorize those URLs, so you have to get it from them. And now the EPAL release is the one that have the HTOP here. Now, if I just search for DNF search HTOP, it should find it for me that says this package was there because we enabled the right repository. Let's see, yeah, it does now. So htop.xcd44, which is on the release that we were looking for. So I'm gonna just say DNF install htop, and this will install htop. I say yes, go ahead install it, and then yes, all the packages. Now, if I say DNF search htop, it is already there, and then I could do also DNF less htop, and then sorry, DNF less htop is going to also show that it's installed on ours. And then the EPAL enterprise version that we are looking for on this one, ATC Red Hat dash release 9.2, it is there. So if I say which desktop, it works there. And if I say run desktop, it's going to run the GUI interface for similar to top, this one, but it has like all the core and the processor information, and then the load average, the top of 20 processes per users, for all the other root users, and the process ID, the priority, the virtual memory, resident portion, shared, CPU, time that it started, the actual command, everything. So you could do that one, and you could say which top dash u wahi. So just to show the process wahi, or you could say quit out of that one, you say which top dash u root, just to see the root, or you say h top, similar to minus p for permission. I'm sorry, not minus the p process one, just to look at the process ID one. And then if you wanted to like 1, 2, 3, the highest priority for those ones that are running, you could do those ones, or you could just say minus u root, and that would be all of the root high priority, like system D, and then all the systems daemons processes that you can get of. And then here you have also the help and setup and the function keys that you can get and kill the process or control it. I showed you on other videos that you can do that one as well. And then DNF provides htop. If I just do it by itself, now notice that earlier we had to type in ben/desktop and everything. Now, since we have done it, it gives me the package name that is there, and then what you need to have in order to install this htop. And if I just do which htop, it tells me, and if I say locate htop, if locate was installed, it will just give me the information about it. And if I could say where is htop, this will give me also the user bin, which is htop, the binary, and then the user manual pages, the shared man pages, which if I say man htop, it just read this ganzip file and man will section 1, and it will just say this is section 1 of htop. Similarly, if I just say minus s for section 1, it will open the same htop. So there's a lot of info. htop also give you information about clearing the screen. Now, if I don't need htop, I could install uninstall it. I could use DNF or yum, because which yum, Yellow Dog Update Manager, is the package manager that was prior to version 8, the 7, 6, and 6 all use that one. But now type of yum, file of user ben yum, it shows that this is symbolic link to DNF-3. So you can see ls minus ld, that is symbolic link. At some point, yum will be deprecated, so you better use DNF, which is also symbolic link to DNF-3, but DNF-3 is actually a Python program. is that if I just do a file on it, you can see that this is not symbolic link, it's actually script. It's about 62 lines there. So you can say cat -n to see all the lines there. You could look at it. And then now we have done the installation, we can say DNF remove or whatever option that is for DNF to remove htop. I could run that command and it says, do you actually want to remove? If I say yes here, then it's going to be gone. The next time I have to do install it. So if I say no here, don't install it, I could still use it. And then if I want to get system calendar, I type in calendar here. If I just want to do calendar 19070 there, I could get that information. Which NCAL, let's see if NCAL is there or not. I could say DNF search for NCAL. I could see if NCAL is provided. If it is not there, again, DNF provides NCAL for the package. But I'm not going to go through each of these packages to see what are there and then search on the internet whether they are. But usually one or another one is there. And so once you find out the proper one, you just enable it through Subscription Manager and install the package like I showed you. I need to show you more on other platform as well. So here you could have other commands as well. Clear the screen. You could just run a Python script or Perl script or C, C++. So a lot of stuff you can do here. So as a user ID -UN, if you look at my prompt, because I'm here, there's a file called .bash or C. And that file has grep -i ps1, and just look for uppercase ps1, let's say, and then .bash or C. That is not having it. Let's see where is my .bash or C profile. If I say .bash or C, the prompt shell 1 is not getting set here. Apparently it is another file because this one is calling other ones like etc bash or C. So most likely it is on the etc bash or C. So etc bash or C. Let me just do this one, 5 more, and etc bash or C. So sudo sudash. I'm going to just get this one as sudo so I can have access to full stuff, etc bash or C. And that file is there. And then I could say grep -i ps1 on etc bash or C. And notice that it is getting set in there. ps1 is there. The syntax that it is there says use this syntax here, or this one when the ps1 is there. Depend on what you do on the bash or C. So more etc bash or C, you can see that just for ps1, if I clear the screen and then instead of more, I could do vim for vi improve, and you can see that I can do a search on ps1 here. So this is if $ps1 is set, then change the prompt to this, and then there's more on the ps1. At some point, ps1 is also checked here, and then $i, and then right here. And then notice the one that is commented out, we are not worried about. The one that is not commented out is these lines. So let me put a line number set in U for line number. And you see on line 43, if I go colon 43, I'm going to be on line 43. Here it says that PS1, and then substitute all those ones, get rid of the spaces and other stuff. And then here you just actually $U is give you the user ID. I'm sorry, /U will give you the user ID, @ gives you the @ /H gives you the home, and then /W give you the working directory. So the /h gives you actually the host name, not home. I mentioned home, I mistakenly misspoke. This is the host name. This is the directory, the default directory, print working directory. And then the $ prompt and then the space. So if I just get out of here, I say, okay, I saw that one. I'm logged on as root right now, and my prompt is root at localhost this. So I could say echo $ PS1. Show me prompt shell 1. If I see that one, notice my prompt shell 1 currently as root is saying /u. /u, I told you, is uname, lowercase uname dash un. UN is username and ID. Sorry. Prompt shell 1, and let me just do this. And then ID dash UN. ID dash UN is going to give you the root. And that's this root. And then there's @ and this is the @. And then the next one is the local host. So this one is host name, but host name has a local domain there. In order to get host name by itself, you could say cat -d dot delimiter is a dot minus F1, field 1. So this host name command will give you the entire thing. Then you're piping it to a pipe symbol redirection of this output to this command. And then this command filters out the delimiter dot, which means it finds this dot, and then it says only show me field 1. If you want to see the domain name field 2, that's local domain. So there's a lot of commands and command lines that you could use in order to get certain information. But in this case, I showed you on the root, the user ID, and then the next one was /w is the print working directory, which is this tilde. And remember, I said get in password root would just told you that your root as default is home directory, and echo $ home is also pointing to that one, and pwd is pointing to that one. Echo $ pwd is pointing to that one. Again, if I just exit out of those ones, and then I say exit out here, and now I'm on this user ID. Again, this one is going to be echo $ PS1. Notice that I didn't put it this time on between the braces. If I'm not having any kind of information right after S1, PS1, like a slash or another character or something, I don't need to put it in between braces. But if sometimes this is a directory or something, then I need to do this slash whatever I put after. So those separator has to be there. So either this would work or this would still get the information that you're interested in. In this case, I am showing you that, and then now I say, okay, so /u is giving me the user ID UN Wahid, and then @ is @ and then host name, and then cut -d delimiter dot, and then -F1 will give you the local host. And then after that one is tilde, which is pwd, the home directory. And then earlier I could make a directory, let's say, make dir test1, cd to test1. Now my directory is there. So if I say cd to tilde, it is going to take me back to home directory. Or I could say cd to test1 and then cd to by itself, it will take me the same thing. Or cd to test1, cd to $ home will also take me there. Many ways you can get in from command line to do the same thing. So cd to $, let's say home. We already did that. So you have to be lower typing. this is all lowercase and uppercase is matter. So if I just type in clear screen, PWD works, but PWD does not work in uppercase because I'm not doing PWD as an environment variable. So if I say CD $ PWD, that would work because there is something called PWD as an environment variable, env and grep PWD is saying that PWD is set to /home Wahida's value. So when I type in echo $PWD, it shows that one. Similarly, if I just say echo grep home, and home is there, so echo $home is same thing. So if I say CD to test one, and then now I say and instead of echo, I could say CD to that one, it is going to take me to the same place. So many ways you can get that information. And then clear the screen, get env, get end password Wahid, get end group Wahid. So for the group information, I could type in group, sorry, I mistyped it. So this one is gonna give me group, and then I say groups, and then I could get my groups information. Grep -I Wahid on etc group file will give me that one. ID get in password Wahid will give me that information. I could say a backtick and then say ID-UN, that would give me the same thing. Here I could say a $, ID-UN, and then that command would, sorry, I must have typed something wrong. Yeah, this is not brace, this is parentheses, and this is ID, and that should give you that. So that's the subshell. You could do RPM -QA to get the list of all the RPMs that are installed, a yum list to see all the yum repositories there, thousands of packages that are there. It is just generating right now as I'm talking, and then it should give you the list. And if you just want a full list count on them, you could just say a word count -L, give me a long listing of numbers there. And then if you say, let's say DNF list, this will give you a list of DNF list, the word count -L also give you word count on them. And then you can say DNF list SSH, for example, to see if DNF list SSHD, if there's a package name that's there, or open SSH or anything. Something that you're looking for, you have to know the package name and look for them there. And then RPM -QA give you a query all of them, and then grep -I open SSH or open SSL, or let's say open SSH. So those packages, as you do, if you just say, well, this is good, it give me those listing, but let's do a while read var, and then say do echo working on a PKG and $var now, and then we just say sleep 2 seconds, or let's sleep 1 second, that's 2 seconds is still long, and then say the RPM after that one is, we could do something on it or not, it doesn't matter, and we could say and run the date command, and then done. So now for every package that it says 1 second, and then give us a time frame, and it is done. And if I just say, well, that was good, but I want to say one more command, I could say RPM -QI for the information on $var, and then done. So now the date will information, then it gives me information on the package itself for each one of them. But because we didn't delay too long, it went so fast. So let's just delay like 2-3 seconds. So and just we could see a little bit more output per screen, and then do that. And you can see that information, but this time instead of 2 seconds, I'm gonna do 3 seconds, then do RPM minus QA $, and then clear the screen, and then do the next package. So that way, every time we see an output, now clear a screen, working on the next one, and then go like that. And notice that all you have to do is on your command line, you could do and work on SSH or maybe Apache, something, whatever you're interested. If there was packages that are on Apache that was installed, then you could do this one, HTTPD or something, and then list it, and it's working on the package name, and it's working on the next one. And if it is not installed, obviously you have to do an install or something. What else we could show you? I think this is good enough for Linux Red Hat. I'm going to jump into Rocky next, and then Linux Ubuntu. Otherwise, it is already 12 midnight. I want to sleep too. So let me just exit out of this one. And then one more thing that I want to show you on this one, the Firefox, I could close it here or just run from command line. If I just close it here, this will close it, all right? So I'm going to show you a few here, and then maybe on the other ones, we don't have to do the same thing. Firefox, I just run it here, Firefox. And then notice that on the command line, I could just open another command line here and just say ps -ef grep -I Firefox. And now the process that our Firefox has opened is a number of them. I could say grep -v grep, my own grep command, and don't show that part. And then this is all still Firefox. So notice that this Firefox is running. I'm gonna just do a pkill, process kill Firefox. So I don't have to search for all of those process ID and then kill it one by one, but I just did it with this pkill, process kill command, and then gave the name of the process, and then it just went through, find it out for me. But in the old days, when the pkill was not provided, you have to identify. So if I just say Firefox here, and then you have to identify each process on the system from command line. So here, if I just do the same command here, there's a number of them. Now I have to find out the process ID, each one of them. In order to do this one, again, I could do awk print $2. This will give me all the process ID of those processes. And then at the same time, I could say while read PID, and then say do echo working on $and PID now. And then I'm going to say date, and then say kill -9 $PID, and then at the same time here say sleep 2 seconds, and then just say date, and then done. So notice it says working on that one, then it kills it, and it goes to each one of the process ID, and it says that the parent process ID, if it kills, it says no such process ID, because once I kill the parent, the child process might have already defunct or terminated. So now it is all done, and there's no Firefox. And if I just go back here, the command that we look at the process ID for all of them, there's no process ID that has the Firefox. If I just don't do grep out my grep, the only process is this grep command itself. So you need to grep out your own grep in order to not see it. Echo $? meaning that the process did not find any process with Firefox. If I do with this one, and then I say echo $question mark, the process ID $sign question mark is equal 0, meaning equal 1, meaning did not find anything there. So that is good. But if I just do anything like this and say since this is a lot of them, echo $sign question mark is 0, successfully returned. So some of the process here, and that you could say grep minus IYD, since I have a lot of them, echo $sign question mark is also 0, meaning that that command runs successfully. Also, if you want to run like Python, you need to know what version you're using. You have this, then you can do Python from the command line, and then you could just do a dir. I mean, obviously, you should watch my other videos with Python. I'm not going to go extensively on Python or versus, let's say, GCC. If you say which GCC, if it isn't already installed, you say GCC-version. It's gonna give you a G++ and dash version if it is already installed, and then you see this one. If you need to know the RPM minus QA grep minus I G++, you can see that the RPM is going to return it. If we say, let's say DNF less G++ or DNF search G++, and you can see the package name, which G++ is there. File user bin G++ is showing you the binary executable link format, ELF 64-bit. You can do LDD on it to see the list of dynamic library, the shared objects, all of those ones. There's a lot of commands here you can do with details. I'm not gonna go with all of them from the terminals because I have other videos that you should be watching. There's a lot of videos that I already made for the same purpose, and this is going to help you if I just show you the videos. For example, if you want to see bash, I have the entire video here, 1 hour 57 minutes, almost 2 hours video that I show how to do command line bash born again shell stuff. And this is all my SQL related to the shell and that you could do, and then how to boot from a DVD ISO, how to boot into Red Hat Linux, and system administration task, all the command lines with RPMs, YAM, and then DNF, and then system D, system CTL, journal D. And this one is from zero to hero, this 4-hour video that I just covered the entire Red Hat and Enterprise Linux 9. There's a lot of videos here, the thousands of videos. So I'm not gonna go through each one of them. The Linux manual pages, about 6,600 PDF files that I wrote in Python script to get the entire manual pages for you in PDF format. And then that's also on my website here. The entire book that I wrote on Linux is also on this book. If you see these videos, you're welcome to watch them either on YouTube or just on my website. And the entire book is online here, chapter by chapter. So when you go there, for example, when I was talking about the Linux manual pages PDF format, if you're interested to get PDF, this is like 6,600 PDF files here. All the section 1 through section 9, all of them are available here. Whichever section you're interested, you just click on the command that you want and it's a PDF file will open for you. And similarly, if you're just looking for a section somewhere on section, let's say, whatever section this is, you can click on it. And then this is like file system checker. File system checker, you can see a lot of the Linux commands are very, very intuitive. So once you learn it, they will stay with you forever. Okay, so Let's see, what is this one? PVS. This is for volume on the display information for physical volume. So if you're on this one, let's say on this command, you could just say clear screen. PVS itself, you will get the volume, and then LVS will give you a logical volume. PVS display will give you the volume and the information. Sudo su dash. Let me just get the root first. PVS will give you that one. PVS display and command not found, so it's not PVS. LV display is there. PV display, not PVS display. And then you could get the logical volume display, LV display dash L dash A, maybe dash A is giving you all. And then for these volumes that I have, logical volumes and the PVS and LVS, we got that one. There's a number of commands you can do. And so if you do man LV display itself, you see the list of the commands, dash A for all, and then dash C for column wise and all that information. There's a lot of parameters that you can just pass on to each one of them. And then LVM is other one, logical volume manager. Then you could say quit out of here, or LVM dash L dash let me see, LVM let me just see, help. Yeah, LVM, so you can do like volume groups name, listed PVS, and display the information about physical volume, and then LVS scan, LVS itself is there. All these parameters are there. If you want to reduce it, resize it with LV, there's a lot of commands, LV change, and there's too many of them. So like LV change, I used to use that one also. And LV extend, if you want to extend it, LV created, LV display there. So LV display, yeah, LV display is like LVS, this LV display here would be the same thing as that one. LVM, LV display would similarly to that one. So all these argument, VGS, volume groups, you can get it, PVS, you could get the physical volume group, or just get PVS itself that way. So a lot of those options are bind together. And then what I was showing you, I believe on the other page, I'm done with this one, so I'm gonna exit out of this. Otherwise, I'll be forever. On the website, I was showing you that you have these commands. That's why I get there. But also on chapter 4, for example, if you're learning advanced Linux, I have more than 88 commands that are very advanced, system administrator or higher level, or a developer's version that you could do. And then for each one of them, I have a subsequent video. For like each row that are 11 of them, I have one video. So for 8 rows, I have a video 1 through video 8, which are these ones. Please watch those ones. They might be 1 hour or 2 hour long video, and you will learn a lot from it. And if you're looking for something here, like for example, user add that on, I just show you examples here. The reason I show you examples on it, because some of them are system level access or root level access. I don't want to just create accounts on my cloud computers on the internet. It's too much to provide, but I do provide you access to run commands and practice them from time to time. For example, if you're looking for LSOF, for example, list of open files, you can see some of the arguments I'm showing you here. And then if you want to get the manual pages in HTML format, you get the manual pages for that, Alyssa. And if you say, yeah, that's good, how about the uname command? You could also get the manual pages for the uname here. And then any command that you type in here, out of the 6,600 commands, you will get the manual pages in here. And then also, if you're interested to say, yeah, I like to get to section that I can run the commands. And so intermediate commands here, let me make it a little bit smaller. So on the chapter 3, I'm showing you a lot of commands you can practice there. So this is all on Linux Ubuntu. So on Linux Ubuntu, like for example, if you're learning change mode and change ownership, change group, and these are the kind of documentation I provide you that you can read and understand all those UMask and all the details here. At the same time, if you're looking for a command that is like, for example, let's say the host name command, what it does, you can just get the host name here and then get the information from it. And then the output is right here. So base name, for example, is the command, not host name. Base name, user Ben sort, that will give you the sort as base name. And then for this one, CGI would be giving you the base name, chapter 2 CGI. And then obviously, if there's another command somewhere here that was base name, let me just see if there's a host name, must be on another chapter. Let's go on another chapter, chapter 2. And then on chapter 2, if you look at it, like uname is there. Yeah, hostname is right here. So if you run the hostname command, it will just give you the output here. Similarly, but for the uname, I'm going to show you the uname here. Uname, as you can see here, it actually run the command on my operating system and the cloud and give you the output here. And then here, like for example, if I look at uname -a, it gives me the entire information there. Similarly, I can just type in the actual command at the query string here, and instead of uname -a, I can say to run the date command, and then now I get the output for the date command. And you can see it is dynamic, Sunday 24, which is today, right now at Eastern Date Time. So if I just change the date here to like a calendar command, calendar for this current month, you could see that my output for the calendar command is for the current month. It's shown right there. So whatever argument that I do here, it runs dynamically there. So if I want to say run the ls plus -l and give me a long listing of files on that directory, and then it will just say ls -l and then that. You have to know the syntax in order to get it. Obviously, if I just want to make some damage and say rm plus dash rf dash rf and then plus star dot test. Let's say I just try to delete everything that is related to test. It says, no, you're not authorized to do so. And it tells you the command that you type in. So whatever you do here, I'm just watching for those kind of things. So if I just say, and instead of RM, I say run a pwd, and then at the same time say rm star dot text. And say, and let's say I do that syntax, it just say, no, you cannot do that one. But if you just, the pwd itself, which I'm allowing it, so you cannot do some kind of SQL injection without my, my checking in and not allowing it. This one is allowed, but the other command is not allowed. So you cannot create files, you cannot add users, you cannot system admin privileges. So I watch for all of that. You're welcome to subscribe to our YouTube channel, so you can learn a lot of stuff. It is going to be beneficial to your work, as well as those of you that are still attending computer science major as a college student or as a university student. You're welcome to just watch a lot of, there's thousands of videos here. You're going to benefit from it. I'm going to just stop the video on this one. So in order to get back here, I need to relog in with on the GUI part, because the screensaver kicks in. And I'm going to exit out of this one. I'm going to say log out, power off. First, I need to log out first to be safe, so I don't damage my file system. Then I'm going to say power off the system, and then that will power it off. So similar to what I showed you on Linux, not now. So I'm going to just look at Rocky next. But Rocky, I'm not going to show much because Rocky and Red Hat is matching one by one. So whatever I showed you on Red Hat version also works on Rocky. And just to start Rocky, I'm going to show you a few things, and then from there we jump into Linux Ubuntu, and then we just get there. So now let's just go to the command line of Rocky first. So as I said, the Rocky is very much like Linux. So the terminal command line, whatever you run on Red Hat or whatever you learn on Rocky or CentOS, it works also on the Red Hat. So I'm going to log in. The interface, as you see, is exactly the same, except on one I had a different desktop GUI screen and the other ones, but the terminals are the same. So if I click here, I get a terminal. And then when I type in union-a cat edc red hat release, it gave me that one. And then it tells me what is the version. So it's dash release is Rocky Fedora 9.2. And then here DNF list that give you the same thing what the other one was giving you. Then list of packages depending on what you have installed, and then sudo dash. I can run that one, and then I just mistyped it, so I'm going to type it correctly this time. Now I say DNF update. We'll just do another system update since my system is up to date. I don't need to worry about anything. So if I just want to do a calendar, clear screen, df-h, uptime, free-h, top, Q, clear screen, Udo. If the Udo is not installed, you can type in W to see the list of W, run level, who minus R, let's say cat /proc/mem info will give you the memory information, cat /proc/cpu info. It is there, but notice these are on the proc file system. Mem info, if you look at it, is 0-byte file because it's pseudo file system. Similarly, the CPU info that's based on the proc file system that is coming from the content of the memory RAM. It reads it from RAM. Even though it shows 0-byte, when you do cat /proc/cpu info, you will see the content of it, all the CPU information. And then similarly, if you say ls CPU, you can get CPU information, hardware, ls hardware, you could do the entire hardware, ls hardware by class of disk, for example, just to get the disk information. F disk -L, and that we did earlier, and then you could do fdesk-l/dev/sda. So a lot of cat etc fstaff file similar that information cat minus n etc fstaff file cat etc host name cat etc hosts and then host name and then you could say host name cat minus d delimiter dot, like we were looking at, minus f1. You could this on echo $sign ps1 ps echo $sign ps1 and missed up at one. So ps1, actually not ps1, env give you all the environment. Echo $sign pwd will give you the print working directory. You could do mama too many things. So we did show you a lot of stuff for the other one. So clear the screen here. I'm gonna exit out of this and then say run top command here, quit out of that one, run uptime, get the system uptime, run last to get the last system, cat etc host file, hosts file, and then cat and let's look up let's say google.com, get information. Let's start minus rn lsof minus I port let's say 22, and then since I did not do that on the sudo, it did not show me, but if I do it with sudo, it shows that it's there. And then if I do ls minus p on port 22 909, the process 909, I could get that information and details. So let's just exit out of this one also, because these videos are going to go forever. And right here you have all other options of GUI, the desktop. I'm not going to discuss GUI stuff because we had covered already. Xterm, if I want to open an Xterm, and then I can do commands on the Xterm as well. If I just want to open another Xterm session with a different color, I could say Xterm minus background BG, and then say pound. Let's make it dark red. So I'm going to say 3500 for red, green, 00, blue, 00, minus foreground white. And then if I just do that one, it's going to do this. But if I want to see a font size of, let's say 17, I could get this one. And then if that is not enough, I could do 20. And then I could also do a minus font face in New York. So now it's a little bit bigger. It's too big, and now I can just change this one back to 17, and then that's good enough. Clear the screen, df minus h, who, clear screen, uptime, ID, any command that you do, cat etc password, and then grep something, grep wahid on etc password, etc shadow, or etc group not shadow, because you have to be root to do that one. So you can do a lot of stuff. I'm gonna exit out of this and log out of this also. Say log out first, and then power off. And then last thing that I'm going to show you is Linux Ubuntu. Linux Ubuntu is this one. As you can see, the icons are different. My web university is the host name, and that one is also running with a 16 gig. Total, I have 32 gig on this machine. And so if you look at the CMD here, command line, say system info, 5 more, it's a Windows operating system, and it is having about 32 gig of physical memory, 16 gig I allocated this one. And you can see it's Microsoft Windows 11 is the host operating system. And right here, the one that I'm running is Linux Ubuntu in this case. So let me log into Linux Ubuntu here. And as you can see, the prompt says Ubuntu, and then there's a nice interface says Ubuntu, and because of the Jammy Jellyfish logo that you can see, a very nice image. Here, I can just also right click and open in terminal. And notice that echo $sign PS1, in this case is set to this details because it's on color. You can see that the way it is assigned there. And then right here, again, I'm on the default is my home directory there. So if I just do this, until the home directory is now there. $home is the same thing, and echo $PWD is the same thing, and this current directory is the same. So if I say get end password Wahid, notice that one, I could get that, or I could just say, and instead of Wahid, I say backtick and then ID-UN. That would also give me that one. Or I could say $subshell, left parenthesis, and then ID-UN. And this will also take that as the same argument there. So there's many ways you could do this one, but the prompt, you can change the prompt. For example, here, echo $PWD. Here, my current working directory is there by PS1. PS1 is prompt shell 1. So if I change my prompt, say export PS1 is equal, and I just put it to $. If I put it to $, now notice that it is just $, echo and $PS1 is still going to do that. But instead of that detailed information, I only have a $. However, if I just click on this one, it runs the bash stuff, which is on this file .bash or C. And then grep -I PS1 from .bash or C. It is that the line that is I was showing you here. So echo and PS1 is pointing to the same line that is about there. On the Red Hat and Rocky, this file was actually on /etc bash rc. That file does not exist on Linux Ubuntu, and then on the one is right here, this file there. So cat.bash rc, you will see that information here. And then if I just go back to this prompt that I changed, if I become switch user sudo dash, and then I type in the sudo access to become root, notice my prompt change to this echo $PS1 automatic change because it still run the .bash rc, and it changed my prompt to this. So if I just do the same thing here, say switch sudo switch user do root, and then type in this, notice that my prompt is the same. That doesn't mean that I cannot export it here. I could do export PS1 is equal pound this, and then now my prompt shell 1 is this. And then I could just type in commands and it still work. ID-UN still work, group name still works, and host name is still going to show my web university. Uname -N also shows you my web university. Uname -A give you all of them. Uname -S system name, -M machine type, -P platform, -R revision, and so on. I mean, there's a lot of them. You could do -help, like -kernel, a name rather than -S, or -S rather than -kernel name. It's up to you. So all of these commands are available. The graphical interface, we have already showed you how to modify it. This software update, you can run it, and you can also do a DNF update that will just do the update. Sorry, not DNF. And this one is apt update. Apt is the package manager, and snap is there. So you have apt list to see all the packages that are there, all the apt, the repositories, and this file, it is under the etc apt. There's sources dot list is the one that there. And let me just see etc store apt. So this directory etc apt, and then there's sources.list is one of them, and sources.list is the actual file. So cat etc apt sources.list. This one is the repository. As you can see, Debian or all the packages that are there, the one that are not commented out, you can just see those ones. So if I just say grep minus v, and then first tell that pound. So don't show me the one that are commented out. This is all the list of the repository from apt list, that when I just install something, it's gonna go consult these repositories, and then it's gonna download it there. So if I just say apt install, let's say, or list pop command, for example, if it is there, or get information on it, don't show. If there's any command that are related to it, open SSH. So to locate, unable to locate the package. So any package that I did not get the list of them for some reason, I could say, okay, if this SSH is there, I get the list, and then I could do info on it, and then do install and other commands. There's a lot of commands with apt itself. You see, if you just type in apt without any argument, it says you can do list, you can do search, you can do show, install, reinstall, remove, and so on. Update and upgrade, and so many other ones. And then the same thing with the apt, you also have snap, which is a containerized there. So snap list will just show you all the list of packages. Like Firefox is part of a snap package. So if I say snap list of Firefox, then it shows that Firefox is already installed here. And then if I say snap, and instead of list, I say info, then it's gonna give me information on that package. And if I just say snap by itself, then it says these are your options. You can find, info, install, remove, and so on. So if we say snap find Chromium for browsers, and you can just see it. And if you want to install it, you can do snap install Chromium, for example, and then that will install it. If you just do something for another package similar to like Chromium, maybe Opera, you could just say snap install Opera. If it is part of the package, you could do it. And then sometimes through the software also you could do the same thing. And then with like PyCharm, you can do snap install PyCharm community version that is there. And Visual Studio Code and all those other packages, you can always run it. It's a little bit big, but now if we just do list, and then which Chromium, and now it is part of Snap. So if I say Chromium, that package is installed, it says permission denied. I have to be non-root to start it. So I could do this and then just say copy and paste it, run it Chromium, it will just open Google Chrome. And now I'm on Google Chrome here. And so if I say google.com, I visited this one. Now if I just say go to jpl.nasa.gov, It will take me to Jet Propulsion Laboratory with very nice kind of rovers and satellites and everything on that space. You're welcome to watch those ones and enjoy it. There's a lot of nice videos and nice rovers. This is at the lab, and doing some demo stuff at Jet Propulsion Laboratory, NASA in Pasadena. That's where I work at. So you're welcome to enjoy and then learn from it. Go to galleries and go to other places and then enjoy. This is the Jet Propulsion Laboratory in NASA. These are big buildings. There's a lot of them per projects that they name after the project that we work on. And then this is building 180, this is 171. There's a lot of building. This is flight operation. So you're welcome to just explore. This is the parking lot. And there's a lot of east parking lot, west parking lot, and so many other buildings around those ones, 301 and other ones. Enjoy it. I just show you one more thing on the command line. So let's say I'm just gonna do a kill on this process, Chromium that I start. So I started this one now. On this other interface, I could just say PS minus EF direct minus I Chromium. So notice there's a lot of them. I could do a pkill on Chromium, and then that will just try to terminate it, and it is not finishing here, so I'm gonna say minus F for forcing it, and now it terminated. So if I go back in here, it says the process terminated, failed to send it. So it is gone, and then I'm going to exit out of this. And there's a lot of other ways you can do things on this one, but the apt and apt install, apt remove, or different than RPMs. RPM can still be installed on distribution of Debian Ubuntu, but DNF and Yum is part of Red Hat. And instead you're using apt cache, apt get, and so on. And then apt install, apt remove, all of those ones that we do. Again, on the command line, you can open the command line from there, or you could just come in on the command line here and click on terminal, and then do a list of the commands that you want to run here, or just open an extern. You want to open extern, you could do extern minus BG background dark blue minus foreground white minus face New York minus font size 16 or 17, let's say. You could run it and then close this one, run this one in the background, ampersand, and then leave this one on the side here. You can run pop on this command and just at the same time on this other one, open out, we'll say which xeyes, so if xeyes is installed, you say xeyes and open xeyes, and then you can also do a background that one, so you have your prompt. You can do xclock, and then if you just want to do xclock also in the background, you could do xclock in the background with ampersand. Now I have my prompt here, I could do this, and then xcalendar, xcalc for calculator, and then also I want to do it in background. Notice that each one of these ones that you have these ones, like xeyes will open here, you click on xclock and you can turn any of these ones, you can do it. And if each one of them you want to do a kill on it or something, you can do from this terminal also. So if you just say, well, this is good that are already there, I could open another terminal here. Open terminal, and then if I want to resize this one, I could do a little bit bigger, or just that is big enough. So I say, let's just export my $sign PS1, my PS1 to just only be $sign. So now I have only $sign, and then here I'm gonna say PS minus EF direct minus I, notice this X term that I open here, and then I open X clock, another one. So I'm gonna look for X clock first. X clock process, that is the process. So I could just say, and instead of this one, I could do a PKL on it, PKL, because there's only one process ID that is X clock. I could just do that one, or actually, let me just see why this one minus X clock is there, and grep minus V grep. So this does not actually show that X clock. Let's see that X term is there or not. X term should be there. And notice that X term is the one that I open, which is this one. So if I want to open, close that one, I could do a kill minus 9 and this number 7122. That's the process ID. I killed that one. So the other ones are already gone because I killed some of them. So I'm going to exit out of this, and there's not much left here. I'm going to just say exit out of this one, log out, power off, log out first, and say yes, log out. And then I'm going to just say power off. And now it's powered off. As you can see, all of them are done. And I want to refer you back to my Web University free education videos to subscribe to our channel if you haven't done already, and then make some nice comments, and I will fulfill your needs if you just ask me for something that is possible for me to make on my weekends time or on the holidays that I'm spending time to help you out. Take care. God bless you all. Have a nice one.